Hey everyone, Paul Richmond here. We have two options for president. A candidate who is qualified, experienced, and intelligent, and if you're a Trump supporter, this video isn't for you. If you've watched and listened to everything and you've concluded that he's the best choice, nothing that I say is going to change your mind. I tried to have a calm, reasonable conversation yesterday with a Trump supporter, and I was called a Hillary-loving, mindless sheep idiot. So if you're voting for Trump, sayonara. That means goodbye. Maybe you're supporting someone else besides Trump or Clinton. That's fine. They aren't going to be president. We all know this. We have two options. So if you're voting for Johnson or Stein or the Tooth Fairy or writing in Bernie Sanders, this video isn't for you either. Because if after weighing all the options you've decided Bernie or bust is the way to go, then you're obviously prepared for the bust, and I'm not. You've already decided that being right is more important to you than making a choice for the sake of the demographics in this country who would be irreparably harmed by a Trump presidency. And I won't be able to convince you otherwise. That leaves one group. My fellow Hillary Clinton supporters. Friends, this election has been ugly. I had thought by now we could be proud to proclaim our support for the Democratic nominee, that our party would pull together and celebrate this historic moment. But that's not what I'm experiencing. Are you? Now, I expect people from the first two groups that I addressed to say some crazy stuff about her. But what disappoints me more is when I hear fellow Hillary supporters saying things like, well, I know she isn't perfect, but I guess I'm with her. What the hell is that? Why do we say it? What kind of enthusiasm do we really think we can generate with that sort of lame-ass endorsement? And why do we feel like we have to apologize for supporting a brilliant, successful, accomplished candidate just because she's imperfect? In the entire course of our country's political history, have we ever elected someone who was perfect to any office at any level? Has there ever even been a perfect candidate? Now, I know some people like Bernie more. I felt the burn too, but Bernie's not perfect, and he's not even an option. Bernie says to vote for Hillary, for God's sake. What message does it send to young women in this country when year after year we vote for imperfect men and never feel the need to apologize for it, and then turn around and act like we're only voting for Hillary because our hands are tied? How is she any less perfect than the men who came before her that had your enthusiastic support? And even if she isn't your cup of tea, would you really prefer to guzzle a big flaming cup of gasoline instead? Because again, we have two options. Now, I'm not saying I'm only excited about Hillary because I think Trump is a human garbage heap who would flush our country down the toilet. I am genuinely stoked to see someone I've admired since I was a teenager climb her way all the way to the top of this impossibly steep hill. I'm ecstatic that she is such a vocal supporter of minority groups, women's reproductive rights, that she has such a solid plan for our economy and foreign policy and yada yada yada. And I am empowered by her for having the guts to stand up and speak out in a country that is so steeped in misogynistic bullshit that women and the people who support them for generations have felt like they have to apologize for even having an opinion. That is why I refuse to give any credence to the boatload of Republican-generated conspiracy theories and outright lies that have been circulating around her since the beginning of her career. And I am so tired of hearing people talk about how they don't like the clothes she's wearing, the tone of her voice, the style of her hair. Listen, fashion critics, it is freaking 2016! Until you're prepared to apply those standards across the board to all the candidates, then your comments are just irrelevant, sexist, and quite frankly, stupid. There's no denying that we have a double standard in the way that we criticize Hillary versus other candidates. Obama doesn't have a birth certificate. He may have one, but there's something on that. Maybe religion, maybe it says he's a Muslim, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want that. This is a presidential election. You don't have to think she's cool or want to go clubbing with her or admire her wardrobe. This is a job that requires brains, strength, and stamina. And she has proven that she has more of that in her little finger than Trump has in both of his little hands. So there it is. Sorry, not sorry. I am with her all the way. And if you agree, it's time to own it. Stop being sorry for it and let's make this thing happen. Go here to join me. Use whatever platform you have to speak out, whether it's a YouTube channel, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Whatever, drag a soapbox out into the middle of the street. Does soap still come in boxes? I don't know. Don't be shamed into silence by bullies. People will roll their eyes, they'll tell you that you're uninformed, but most of the time, they're just parroting what Rush Limbaugh's told them to say anyway. This election is too important to stand on the sidelines, so risk your cool points, take a stand, and whatever you do, go freaking vote! I'm Paul Richmond, and I approve this message. You're so cute. Hey everyone, Paul Richmond here. Let's talk a little about working from home. Now, I used to drag myself to a gray cubicle every day for a graphic design job, and I was miserable because the gray cubicle does not fit my personality at all.